James Lynch here for Home of Fight. Great catching up with Brandon Royval. Is going to be back in action. Third time's a charm. He's fighting Manel Kape. I know this fight's been scheduled a bunch of times, but it looks like it's finally going to happen. December 13th, UFC Fight Night, ending the year on the right note. Brandon, what's up, man? How are you?
You saying third time's a charm to us trying to get this video loaded again? Or
That too. Yeah, this is like third take for the video too. Your Wi-Fi struggling a little bit, but glad to see this fight get booked. Like, when did you find out, it was all, came to fruition and everything? Because it seemed like we found out maybe a couple weeks ago.
I booked it when they had UFC Chicago. I talked to Mick and just was like, hey, yeah, whenever you want to give me a fight, I'm ready to go. He's like, what about Manel Kape? I was like, perfect, let's make it main event. And he's like, when you ready? I'll be like, I was injured, so I was like, let's do it December. So pretty much did all the deal myself, honestly.
Was there any worries though you wouldn't be ready in time? Like, was that in the back of your head? Like, man, I hope that, yeah.
Yeah, well, they wanted to actually do it for this last week's card, or the David Onama main event. They offered me the main event for that, but I was like, I don't have enough time to train. I was dealing with some injuries, so just had to make sure I was good and I can get a full camp in by then. So I knew it was pretty risky if I took that fight at that time.
Okay.
And I don't want to be the reason we didn't fight again. So
yeah, no. Well, I'm glad it came to fruition. Was there any other opponents, or was it just always Kape sort of on your sights for the next one?
No, I just wanted Kape.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone wants to see this fight, right? Like, it's a great stylistic matchup. It's a great, like, big name fight in the weight class, right? So I think it just made sense for both of you. And I know a little bit of bad blood maybe going into this one too doesn't hurt either, right?
Yeah, straight up. It's good. It's always good to try to punch someone you don't really like in the face. So I never really had that opportunity in the UFC, so it's kind of cool.
And I know we're kind of doing Groundhog Day here because I feel like we did an interview talking about this fight already, but just, obviously he's got power. He's a great striker. He's got some ground game as well, wrestling, all that. Just how are you looking at what your style brings to the fight compared to his?
I mean, it's just, I think Manel Kape's really good. At this point in time, it's just everybody's really good. I've never in the UFC, at this point, I'm fighting really well-rounded opponents, really good everywhere. And it's just like, I'll bet on myself every time. So I really like the matchup. I like the fact that I have hard fights and all the above. I look at my schedule and I'm just like, I have one of the hardest schedules on the roster as far as flyweights go. And I mean, what is it? What's a life worth living?
Well, Corey Sandhagen said it best. I know one of your buddies, he's like, look, like, we're going to have to fight these guys anyway. So it's like, if I fight him now or I fight him later, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, realistically, you could have taken an easier fight if you wanted and maybe a less opponent, but like, kind of jumping back into the Shark Tank, like that's a way to get you right back to where you were before the Joshua Van fight, right? I'm sure that's part of it too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I have a pretty good game plan for him. And I've been kind of obviously trying to get ready for him this whole entire year. So it's just kind of awesome that it's coming and shaking out.
Take me through camp a bit, because I know, you kind of go around everywhere in Colorado. How are things structured sort of leading into this? We still got some time, by the way. We're recording this, November 10th, fights on the 13th. So just under a month, or just coming up to a month, I should say. What's camp looking like going in?
It's pretty cool. I finally got like a good structure of everything, and I have it like pretty organized. I'm like a creature of habit, so once I get a good little organization down of like what I want and like what I need for this camp, it's just smooth sailing from there. So it took me a little bit to get it and just detail exactly where I need to be at what time, and then get them all working together. But I finally kind of organized it within the last couple of weeks of just fully dialed in.
Okay, so what is like where are you going to train and stuff, and like
I'm
like
a little
just
bit
like
everywhere.
yeah, like kind of
My main gym, the main gym that I'm at is between Hama and high altitude and the UFC gym, and that's just like the UFC gyms with like the 4 or 5 guys that I train with every day, and just working on like very fight oriented stuff. But I'll spend some time at Onyx. I'll spend some time at Pound for Pound. I work with this wrestling coach at Pound for Pound, and do a handful of things at Onyx. So it's just been pretty cool. Onyx is just kind of far away from where I'm at. So.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, taking a bit from everyone. And so I know like your guys is maybe like Luis Groulet, Alex Hernandez, Clay Mott's obviously your coach as well. Like, who are some other guys you get to work with, like from some of the other gyms?
Yeah, yeah. Some of the other gyms is, well, I'll see. Of course, yeah, I've been seeing Tatsuro around a lot for this camp too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Where's
just
he
a
at?
little.
Is he with Sandhagen? Where's he training these days?
Yeah, yeah. He's bouncing between Onyx and high altitude too. So he's bouncing back and forth between that. And I don't know if he trains anywhere else in Colorado, but mainly those two gyms. Yeah. So and then I don't know. I've been training with this kid named Ali. He's up and comer kickboxer, really good. So, but the main looks I'm getting is mainly from Clay Motts and Luis Goulet right now. They're doing
Yeah.
really good miles and trying to fly a couple people in just to get some sparring sessions in, and we'll see if that shakes out to fruition.
And anyone you want to mention, or I guess is top secret, just
No,
so,
no,
yeah.
no, not
Yeah.
yet. It wouldn't be
Yeah.
worth mentioning unless it
Yeah.
doesn't happen. But
Oh,
you'll see
okay. Yeah. That
pictures.
makes sense. Yeah. You don't want to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
it and then
yeah.
it doesn't happen. And yeah, that makes sense. So do you train with Taira or you just seen him around, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'll train with Tyra.
Okay. That's
Yeah, and
cool.
I see him around. I've trained with Tyra for honestly on and off for like a couple of years at this point because he's in
Right.
Colorado fairly a lot. But yeah, and then the last training camp for him, I was injured pretty much the whole time, so I haven't really been able to help him out too much. And then it sucks too because it's like I'm such the opposite look of who he is right now or who he's fighting. So
Yeah. It's
it's
funny.
like me and
Moreno.
Moreno.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really fight that much alike. I'm southpaw. I'm pretty lengthy. I fight from a distance. Moreno's a pocket fighter, um, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a little bit of different.
Okay. How's the language barrier with him? Do you guys understand each other?
Yeah, he speaks English. He speaks English pretty well. Sometimes I feel like he smiles, and I'm like, I don't think he understood what I just said, but
Right. Fair enough.
yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool though that you
But
guys can kind of like come together. And I'm sure it helps his English too, training with a lot of English speaking fighters, right? So it's probably good for
yeah,
him.
yeah, 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 exactly. He spends most of them, or like a good portion of his camp down in Colorado.
Yeah. And you fought Moreno, so I'm sure like you could help give some pointers. Obviously, it was a few years back, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. His striking coach, I sent like a handful of notes of just all the notes I had over Moreno. Obviously, I've eyed him for years, and then I fought him a couple times too. So it's just I have a lot of notes on him, a lot of ideas on how I play. Some things are different because I'm obviously a lengthy southpaw and he's not. Um, so there's some things that are different, but there's some things that I think would just always be consistent with Moreno and what he does, and like a little bit of his habits. And I thought that that could be a helpful thing to help him win the fight.
Anything different for your corner? Still going to be Clay, Alex Hernandez. Who's going to be in the cage with you for this
Yeah,
fight?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Clay, Alex Fernandez, Luis Goulet. Maybe I'll add someone else for a fourth, but as of right now, not really anybody.
Let me ask you this, because your last fight was at T-Mobile Arena, right, with Van, and then this fight's in the Apex. Does the strategy change a bit? Because I know, I don't know what the stat is, but I know for like power punchers, like a guy like Kape, it does benefit him a little bit more because there's less space to move around. Do you approach that differently with the fact it's in the Apex?
No, not at all. I actually kind of like the idea that it's in the apex a little bit. Besides, like not being a crowd, but just I'll be able to have more exchanges with him, and I think Kate punches hard, obviously, but I think one of his main things he does is he's just really quick in and out with his footwork and stuff, and it's like there's less room to run in that cage and more ways for me to find him, and that's kind of a little bit of a strategy too.
Any concerns about his weight or the fight not like any of that, or just is one of those things you just avoid, like broken mirrors and black cats and all that
Yeah,
stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't ever really give a shit about any of that. It's like fought up to 45 before, so it's like I don't really care too much about weight. It'd be cool if he misses, so I get some extra money. But yeah, I've never really given any of that too much consideration. I just control what I can control and get ready as much as I can for the opponent in front of me.
How's this fight playing out on December 13th without giving away the game plan?
Hopefully it's just me beating the shit out of him. Honestly, I don't really know. That's like the thing that sucks is just like when you fight people in the top of the division, it's like it could play out a million different ways. No fight will ever happen the same way a million times. So I was telling one of my friends, just like, when you get to the top 10 of the division, top five of the division, it's like we could all beat each other depending on what day it is. We fight 10 times, you're gonna get 10 different outcomes, and who knows how many times that it'll shake my way or someone else's way or whatever it is. But I really like the idea of fighting a 5-round fight versus Manel Kape, dragging him to the deep end and drowning his ass somewhere along the way.
And if you haven't been able to tell, I mean, we don't have to go into like the back and forth, but like there is a bit of like animosity going into this fight, which like I said, I think is good. We don't see that enough in MMA. I'm just trying to remember, have you had an opponent like this? Like Joshua Van was like the opposite. Like he's the most friendly guy. And then you guys put on one of the best fights of all time at flyweight. I'll say that. It was really, really good fight. So how are you
Yeah, yeah.
approaching this? Like, cause obviously
No,
there is some
I've
animosity.
never disliked an opponent really. So I mean, it's like I don't really carry too much of a burden of like liking or disliking Manel. It's just like I'd prefer to punch him in the face more than like a fucking Tatsuro for sure. So it's just one of those
Right.
things that's like it's cool, you know. I don't get the opportunity to like. I feel like I fight the most loving flyweights in the world. I've never fought a flyweight that wasn't like super respectful and nice, and you know, I get a punch a douchebag in the face. So
Okay.
life's pretty good, you know.
I'd
I
say
love
so.
my job. I love
Um,
my job. I get to punch some
uh,
fucking dudes in the face.
I was gonna say, I know you don't like talking about other fights, but I have to ask because you fought both of them. You fought Joshua Van in your last fight. He's now fighting a former opponent of yours in Alexandre Pantoja. Like, what do you make of that fight with Van getting the shot and everything? He's pretty young. Like, what do you think about that fight and how it could unfold?
I mean, you could just dissect it a bunch of ways. It's like if I think Joshua Van wins it, I would say probably a couple of the later rounds, and then he could steal it with his cardio, high pace, and you know, I think Joshua Van mixes up body shots really nicely, and that's something I never really tried against Pantoja. I was just trying to nail him in the face, and I think Pantoja, they don't call him. He got that cannibal nickname for a reason, man. That guy could just take an ass whooping for sure too. So, but I mean, I think probably the more likely of outcomes is Pantoja goes and gets it done.
And if he does win this, like, do you see him moving up? A lot of people do want the fight with him and Merab at some point. Is that a fight you want to see, or do you think he should, or do you think there's unfinished business?
I don't think he wants to move up. I've talked to him a handful of times. It doesn't seem like he has any interest in moving up.
I know.
Is it something that I want to see? Not really. You know, I want to fight Pantoja. I feel like I would like him to stick around. He's a good champion. He's a good person, and well, why do that? You know, I think he wants to break the record or trying to defend the belt flyweight division as many times, and I don't think he has that much of an interest to go up to 135.
Well, yeah, I asked him that question at your fight, actually, when you fought Van at that press conference, and I got the same vibe. Like, he's good, just, you know, and I think he recognizes, like, hey, there's still more work to do in this division. There's lots of guys that, you know, maybe I could fight, or you know, maybe Muhammad Mokaev comes back, maybe they fight, you know, like, there's lots of options that could happen. But it's funny because all the fans are like, we got to see that fight next. And it's like, you realize the one guy that could make this happen doesn't want that fight. And it's not that he's like, doesn't want to fight Merab. I just think he's like, he feels like, I'm a flyweight. Why can't I just fight in this division?
Yeah, and that's like he was even telling me like for me to stay in the weight class because it's just like there's been like obviously rumors about me going up a weight class, probably rumors that I spread more than anything, but
Right.
but like you know I have the frame to go and fit 135. It's just the weight that like doesn't make sense. Like I walk around one like right now I woke up 144, so it's just like it makes zero sense for me to be a 35er, but yeah, I just think that he's going to stay around and all that stuff too. So
Yeah, I would agree. What do you make of the Merab and Jan rematch? What do you think of that fight? Do you think anyone beats Merab at this point? Like, he just looks unstoppable.
I mean, yeah, I do. I think Jan could do it. I think Jan's sick. I think he has such a good takedown defense. He obviously prepares for that pace. It's going to be pretty difficult, and obviously the biggest issue. But I mean, fucking Rob or Jan could knock out anybody. He's good, you know. So it's just like there's always a chance, and I definitely think Peter Jan's one of the better fighters out there. So it'd be cool to see how he deals with it. And I don't even did Rob ever take him down in that last fight?
I think
He
he
just had him
did.
against the kids.
Oh, yeah, you
He
might
got a
be
couple
right. I'd
takedowns.
have to go look at the stats. I can't remember. That was a couple
I
years back.
kind of remember. Like, I kind of remember Peter Yan defending a lot of takedowns, and obviously that has its own little tool, but like he defended a lot of it.
Got to take a sharp turn here. Obviously, it's in the news right now. This Isaac Dulgarian thing. What was your reaction just seeing the fight and you know how it all unfolded with the betting movement and all that? Like it was just a crazy situation that I think they're going to be looking into for a long time.
Yeah. I don't mean fuck. Do they have to look into it for a long time? I wonder what they know and don't know already. But like one of the things that you do here, and like I guess I don't know anything about betting. I lost $20 on Nick Diaz versus GSP when I was fucking 16, and I've never been okay from that. So
Yeah.
betting on a fight is something. Losing that $20, I've never sat well with me. So I don't know much about betting, but I know that there was a lot of money kind of put on him or whatever. So it just sounds kind of.
Well, it's put on his opponent. The reason this guy, because people always talk about like controversial fights, right? They talk about like this fight looked weird or this judging was wrong. The thing that was different about all those fights and this fight was there was so much money coming in on his opponent in the first round specifically. And there were accounts that like never bet that were like betting money. So obviously some information got out and that led to this whole controversy. So that's what made it worse. And then like, I know your former coach, Marc Montoya, he didn't specifically say it, but he's like, he kicks Dulgarian off the team too. So there's got to be something there, right?
Yeah. And it's just like there's a lot of fishiness that came with it. I hope that his name gets cleared, but I mean, who the fuck really knows? And I don't know how long it takes to investigate anything like that. But I know, like, I was just hearing about some of the stories today at one of the gyms I train at of like what the betting line was and how much money got put into it in a couple hours before. And it's like, doesn't sound, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like a situation that sounds normal, you know?
Yeah, and I got to give you props, man. I saw you on, I think it was Magic M's podcast last week, and I know you and Marc Montoya had a bit of a falling out. You still have the character to say, hey, I don't think he's involved in this. So I thought that was good on you, man.
Yeah, and I'll go as far to say as I 100% know he's not involved in it. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if Isaac had anything to do with anything, and it's like really not my position to say. I don't know anything about that, and I don't know Isaac well enough to even speak as much to his character because I was pretty much at the tail end of Isaac joining the team of me
Right.
leaving.
Mhm.
He's always been cool to me. Like
Yeah.
I'll say that is like he's always been cool, and I've never had that like red flags on him or anything. But I know Marc Montoya didn't do it, and I know anybody from Factory X didn't do it. Some of the that's I get like a lot of those people get called into character and stuff, but it's like some of those people are the best people I know at Factory X. It's like when I think of like some of the better people I've ever met in my life, it's like I think of fucking Cody Brundage. Like Cody Brundage gets a lot of shit on the internet, but it's
Mhm.
just like that is a fucking great person, and it's like
Mhm.
if people knew like you know it's like you when you're closer to the MMA world like you see people like, oh, just see him fighting. They're like, oh, you fucked up my parlay. You did this. And it's like, dude, that guy's fucking a great dad that fucking has a daughter that was very sick and did everything he could. Done everything he can for her. And it's like, you guys are giving like people shit. And then I think of like Dustin Jacoby. I'm like, dude, Dustin Jacoby's like fucking a dream son. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like this guy's fucking all American, like everything you'd ever want, in, like a son or a husband or whatever it is, you know, just great people. And it's like, so it's like it sucks seeing some of like my old teammates. Uh,
Well, even David Onama, they're talking about, oh, because he
oh,
didn't
and
look good
David
in his fight.
Onama.
But it's like, here's the difference that people don't get. If there was anything fishy going on in that fight, there'd be money on Garcia. Like, even like if there was like a
Yeah,
ton of money on Garcia right before the fight, then yes, maybe you could make that connection. But like, he lost. Like, it's going to happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally
yeah,
different that
yeah,
way.
yeah. And the David Onama's, I would say the same things. Like David Onama's someone I have spent a lot of time around, and I like is my friend and someone that I do consider a friend. And it's like that's a great person, bro. That's someone who's out of drama, out of everything. Like someone's talking shit about someone, David Onama's over here not saying nothing, keeping his mouth shut, like just a good person. And like I said, I've never got to know Isaac Dulgarian that well, but I've known David Onama really well. And it's like, bro, the fucking, I always call him Leonard Garcia. I'm getting
No,
this
I know.
mixed
Yeah,
up.
yeah. No, I understand it.
Bro,
They
bro,
kind of sound kind of.
But Garcia is good as shit, man. And he looks really good. And it's like, it sucks that he's catching flame for that too. Cause it's like, yeah, Garcia looked good and he had a good night. And, you know, sometimes Onama's a little bit of a slow starter. And I just kind of got caught quick and that sucks too. But I don't know, man. It sucks to see some of their characters get thrown to the wolves where you're like, that's not true, you know? And
Yeah.
then also I thought what people think was weird about Marc Montoya's interview, it's just like, oh, that's just him.
Well, I just
Like
said if he didn't come out and say anything, then people would say he's hiding. Like, you can't win.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
he could
yeah,
not do the interview. They're like, why isn't he talking? He must be hiding something. It's like, I don't know, man.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm with you there. Just last thing I wanted to clarify here because I'm getting this too. So obviously there is sort of that. Obviously, the last time this thing happened, it was with James Krause and Derek Minner, and obviously there were fighters that left Glory to come to Factory X. I wanted you to clarify this. So as far as I remember, it was just Dulgarian, it was just Onama, and Julian Marquez were the only ones that left Glory to come train with you guys. I don't think there's anyone else because there's this whole narrative that like all these guys left Glory and they're connected to Krause, and so that's why this all happened. And it's like I don't remember. Like I had a guy tell me that Anthony Smith was left Glory or left Factory X to go to Glory, was a Glory fighter, then left and went back. That never happened. He was always at Factory X as far as I remember.
Yeah. So I would say there's always just been a lot of cross training between us
Yeah, but
and
no one
Glory.
like
It's
that was like a mainstay. Like Anthony Smith was never a
yeah,
mainstay at Glory. He's always a mainstay at
yeah,
Factory X with
yeah.
training with Krause, right? Was my understanding.
Yeah. He'd go spend like a month at Glory or something like that. But
But
it was
like he
never
would never
anything
be
crazy
introduced coming into a fight being like Glory MMA
as a
fighter
Glory
Anthony
fighter.
Smith. It's just he
Yeah,
added
yeah, yeah,
Krause to his
no.
coaching thing. Yeah, that's all I wanted to clarify because there's all these rumors out there that all these fighters left to go to Factory X, and it's like I think there's 3, and Julian Marquez was only there for what, like 2 camps, and then he left to go to the lab, right? So
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, I just wanted to clarify that because there's a lot of rumors out there and like all these people like making things up, and there's even some other stuff I'll tell you off camera. I don't want to talk about it here, but it's just some ridiculous stuff. Remind me to tell you after.
Bro, I've been diving into all these conspiracy theories.
No, it's like, I get people going there because we want to figure out what happened. A lot of people are like, how could something like this happen? Why would Dulgarian of all people be involved in something like this when he just saw what happened to Derek Minner and James Krause? Like you saw firsthand how you're like banned from the industry basically. So I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. And and to me, man, I don't know. Like
there's a lot going into it.
There's an isolated incident between them two, but it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Let's switch gears though. This Tom Aspinall eye poke thing. I wanted to get your take on this because a lot of people are going, "Oh, Tom should have continued" and all that. Like, where do you stand on that? Because there's some fighters like I know Anthony and Chael Sonnen have been like he should have continued, but then there's people like it's a heavyweight title fight, and like if you got one eye and you're trying to fight, like that's a lot of money you could be losing out on. Like, what's your take on that?
Yeah. So I'll speak to experience.
Yeah.
One time I got poked in the eye, and like obviously I didn't have it on camera or anything. It was during training. And I didn't have two fingers going to my eye. It was just one finger in my eye. And I couldn't see out of my left eye clearly for a day straight. And it was like almost the whole entire day where I couldn't see clearly from it. I could not imagine continuing fighting after that. Like just have another fucking 20 minutes or it had to be like 20 minutes of a fight. 20 minutes of a fight left. It's like, that seems so scary to me. So, and that's just my experience. It's like, I don't know what Tom was feeling, but I mean, the dude got poked and it seemed pretty deep, all things considered. It's like you don't ever know what anybody's feeling until you're that person, and there's been other incidents this year that I'm like, this motherfucker's faking it. Like I seen a nut shot and I'm like, that was not that bad, and this fool's milking it to get the W, yada yada yada. But I would say the eye poke is just like, dude, your eyes are so sensitive. It's like I don't know. And like, dude, that's a heavyweight champion. And then people act like he's getting his ass kicked. It was like, dude, he's getting hit. Like, sure, he's getting hit. It's a fight. Like, Gon's obviously super good, but it's like, it's not like he's getting his fucking ass whooped. It's like he's still in the fight. It's not like he's just getting smoked out there. Yeah. So I don't know. I think people are hard critics. And it's like, obviously, let's just
do the rematch. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's the best way to do it. Because now everyone thinks Aspinall's terrible, and it's like he was overrated the whole time. I'm like, last time I checked, he beat Curtis Blades. Like that's a pretty good win, man. Sergey Pavlovich. Like these are. Like I don't know. So that's my thoughts. On that. Just need to see the rematch. And Gon could win. He was looking good in that fight. I don't doubt that, but I just think that people you can't take so much from like a fight that ends in a no contest, right? So
100%. And it's like the moment that happened too, I was like, damn, he's not gonna fight again. Like he's not fighting the rest of this fight. Like you could just see it in him a little bit. So it's like, I don't know. It is what it is. But like to call the heavyweight champion an undefeated guy like a pussy for that is just like, you don't know what he's feeling. And it's like, that's a big fucking finger coming in your eye. And it literally went in both of his eyes too,
Yeah. No,
so I don't know.
At the time of recording this, we always got to get some hockey talk in here. You didn't know this because I know you're focusing on fighting, but the Avalanche are first in the NHL right now. The team that you support, they're 10-1-5. They got 5 overtime losses, which they lead the league in, but they've only got 1 regulation loss in the entire season so far. How impressive is that?
Yeah. I mean, as far as now, I think all of Colorado is undefeated. I think the Nuggets are on a little bit of a roll. The Broncos are on a roll, and so are the Avs. So now it's got to beat the fuck out of Cape, and then all Denver's going to be.
Well, you said you're going to go to some games after. You don't go during camp, but you'll go after the fact.
Yeah. The games are always on like they're either pretty late or like on Tuesdays and Thursdays or something of that sort. And it's like I'm not missing practice to go.
No, and then you're up late and all that. Yeah, I agree. Trust. Yeah. No, I totally.
And then it's like, dude, all the food that's at the Pepsi Center are just like not good for you or anything.
Of course,
so
like nachos.
My weight's okay.
Yeah,
my weight's okay, but it's like I can't just go out there and eat a bunch of tacos and nachos and stuff. So
now I can't remember who it was. It might have been Yusuf or David Onam. I can't remember, but like one of them hasn't been to an Avs game, and I'm like, you got to hit up Brandon because you got the connections. You always get like you have friends who have season tickets, right?
Yeah. I always sit pretty.
Or is it one of those things you have to take your girl with you? Like, how does that work?
No. I usually just go with somebody. So I don't even know if my girl's ever been to an Avs game with me.
Oh, she's missing out. It's the best live sport other than MMA, but yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
There you go. Brandon, we won't wait over time. Thanks again, man. You're always the best. Appreciate you making time. Just anything you want to plug before we get out of here. I know you got a lot of stuff going on outside the cage. Let the people know.
EAP Glass. If you guys are following me right now, I'm running a thing with the Denver Dream Center, just trying to get food to kids and stuff. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with this government shutdown necessarily right now. But as of right now, they suspended a lot of food aid that are going out to these youths. So yeah, so if you guys want to get back, please hit me up and all that good stuff.